Welcome to Sleep with Myth. Close your eyes and let the world fade away. Tonight we drift beyond time, where gods dream and stories remember their light. Before wind learned to speak, before rivers carved their first letters into stone, there stood a mountain no one could climb, not for steepness or storm, but because it moved, a shifting giant of dreaming stone. Paths coiled, trails rewrote themselves. Climbers returned knowing less than when they began. They named it 10,000 steps. Some swore they climbed 100, some 9,000. One old woman claimed she reached the top, but could not recall what waited there. "It wasn't the mountain that changed," she whispered. "It was me." Leo was born beneath that living mountain. A quiet boy, the kind who hears more than he speaks. While others feared shifting stone, he studied it. Counted breaths of wind, traced symbols left by forgotten climbers, learned the rhythm of moving earth. The mountain amused him. It groaned like a god stretching, hummed like frost melting in spring. Elders warned, no dreamer reaches the peak. The mountain eats certainty. But certainty was not what Leo hunted. He sought memory. One silver blue night the mountain moved, not violently like a breath drawn slow. Stone folded into steps, ridges unfurled into a path. Toward Leo, it had chosen. "You waited for me," he whispered. Wind answered. Leo climbed with nothing but his name. No lantern, no rope, no promise of return. The first stone was warm, pulsing like a heartbeat older than sky. He climbed. On step 7, memory of anger. On step 40, love. On step 100, wildfire grief. The mountain held them all. "You are not a wall," Leo said softly. "You are a memory." Stone vibrated. Hours or lifetimes passed. Time folded. Then came a moment where no step remained. Only sky. Most turned back here. Leo stepped forward anyway, and the mountain formed the next step beneath him. 10,000 steps did not exist to be climbed. They appeared because he climbed. The mountain was not an ascent. It was a becoming. At the 1,000th step, a whisper moved like memory. "Climb not to conquer me, but to become what I became." The mountain had been someone once, a soul that walked until it turned into path. 10,000 choices, 10,000 echoes. Leo had not been chosen to reach the summit. He had been chosen to remember it. He stepped again, and the mountain dreamt awake. The 1,001st step did not form instantly, it listened first. Stone beneath Leo's foot thrummed like a pulse-seeking match. The mountain weighed him not to judge but to recognize. Why he climbed, what he carried, what he feared to remember. When his foot descended with intention rather than ambition, the step rose to meet him, warm, alive, like an old friend remembering his name. The mountain no longer lay beneath him. It walked with him. Mountain, the steps that spoke without words. The path changed not ahead but behind. Steps appeared only when Leo chose to move. Stone revealed memory as he touched it. A step 7, a warrior climbed to escape guilt. A step 40, a mother searching for a child she could no longer hear. A step 100, a scholar who feared the wisdom he sought. None reached the summit, but none failed. They left fragments. The mountain held them like pages in a living book. I do not climb to conquer, Leo whispered. I climb to be true. Stone vibrated like heart agreeing. Fog the plateau of echoes. Mist parted and revealed a wide terrace, flat as still water under starlight. For arches stood like ribs of memory, etched with ghost letters. Aelin, Mor, Sha, Rain. When Leo's shadow crossed the first arch, a woman appeared in drifting haze. Not alive, not dead, but memory given form. She climbed once for love she could not keep. She reached this place, wept, turned back. Not broken, but refusing to forget. Leo bowed. Her light flickered, then bowed in return. The mountain remembered because he did. Fire the path that divided. Beyond the terrace, two roads formed. One upward, spiraling into cloud and storm. One inward, breathing darkness like a heart of ancient stone. Upward meant ascent. Inward meant origin. No climber chose both. A whisper from the rock. Not all who rise remember. Not all who remember rise. Leo closed his eyes, listened. He stepped inward, into beginning, into memory before stone, into the place where mountain was once man, the door that was not a door. The moment Leo stepped inward, the mountain closed behind him. Darkness wrapped him softly, not cruel, but deep, alive. The cave unfolded ahead, quartz veins glowing dim like memory under skin. Sound was held, not lost. Waiting. Large blue diamond, the heart of the mountain before it was stone. He entered a cavern vast as forgotten sky. A crystal heart hung from roots of frozen light, beating once per century. Each pulse filled him with another man's memory. Kaler pilgrim, broken by war, climbed not to conquer but to escape. He prayed for peace. Snow buried him. Stone accepted him. A man became mountain. Leo touched the heart. I'm here. I remember you. The cavern trembled with relief. Fire where the path became alive. Corridors formed like veins. Spires rose like guardians. Gold glyphs burned softly. Kaler did not die. Kaler became. Leo followed memory light deeper. I climb for understanding. Crescent moon, the chamber of 10,000 names. A circular hall of dark silver. Spiral walls engraved with countless names. Beginnings unfinished. Wounds unhealed. Steps half taken. Voices whispered behind his ribs. I almost made peace. I nearly forgave her. I was one step from understanding. The mountain spoke through echo. Climbers seek heights, few seek depth. You chose to learn why the summit exists. Kaler appeared, stone body, human eyes, heart of crystal. High voltage, the mountain speaks. To climb is not to rise. To rise is not to see. The summit gives nothing. Truth gives summit. He touched Leo's chest, heartbeat mirrored crystal. If you continue inward, you will not climb 10,000 steps. You will become one of them. The final whisper. The summit is not above. It is within. Leo stepped closer, and the mountain opened its heart fully. The step that asked a price. When Kaler opened the heart of the mountain, the cavern did not widen, Leo did. His breath deepened, bones remembering age. Kaler watched with sorrow and pride. Every climber leaves footsteps, but the one who descends leaves echoes. Leo had climbed to know the mountain. Now the mountain wished to know him. The descent into remembering. Stone spiraled downward like thought into truth. His limbs grew heavy, not with fatigue, but with inheritance. A warrior's last scream. A queen's abandoned crown. A boy's unsaid apology. Steps were history the world forgot. I will carry what they could not. Silence listened. The valley beneath all steps. A chamber vast as sky. Obsidian plain like fire remembering water. Above, thousands of faint lights. Footsteps of those who turned back. Between them a single steady path. This is where remembrance becomes burden, and burden becomes truth. What must I do? Candle the thousand voices that were one. Lights ignited, regrets speaking at once. I should have stayed. I should have forgiven. I wish I was braver. 10,000 roads unfinished. Leo knelt, not defeated, but acknowledging. I cannot undo what they left undone, but I can walk forward with it. Lights accepted. The breaking of the old summit. The peak trembled. Mountains are choices, not prisons. Kaler took Leo's wrist, warm as stone remembering heartbeat. Centuries of regret flowed into Leo. He held it all. You carry them, and they carry you. A dim amber pulse in Leo's chest. No longer climber, but remember, the mountain makes its offer. One path remained, not upward or inward, but becoming. A final staircase of unfinished steps rising from obsidian. If you climb these, you carry every soul who could not finish, and reach a summit not of sky, but of self. Will I cease to be me? No. You will become more you than the world ever allowed. Leo stepped. Steps formed from stories, not stone. He climbed with 10,000 footsteps inside him. The steps that formed from silence. Leo stepped onto the first glowing step, memory itself forming road ahead. Each step was a life unfinished, a story paused. He climbed not a path given, but a path created. Steps of sorrow, steps of gold. Visions rose from each step. Grief, regret, voices wanting to be completed. Climb for us, they whispered. His tears warmed cold stone, and sorrow became gold beneath him, where hope learned to breathe. At 4,000 steps, whispers grew hopeful. If he reached the summit, then none were lost. Steps formed quicker, alive with purpose. He carried them and they carried him. The wind that tested truth. At 8,000 steps, wind questioned him. Who are you beyond purpose? Leo answered, he climbs not only for the lost, but to know himself. The final 1,000 where identity burns. The last ascent was sky and memory. 10,000 voices became chorus, and the summit appeared. Not above clouds, but within. Leo became not climber nor rememberer. He became the summit. The moment the world stood still. When Leo became the summit, the mountain fell silent. The sky unfolded. He stood at the center of all, top, root, and path. He no longer carried steps. He was the road itself, where the mountain asked the final question. Kaler returned, no longer stone but man reborn. Summits change the world only if you descend, he said. Leo chose to return not as seeker, but as door. Steps formed behind him for others to walk. The descent that lifted the world. As he descended, silver flowers grew beneath him. Tears became crystal seeds. Sunlight touched the peak after centuries, not melting, but awakening it. The mountain that became a path. Villagers saw a new staircase along the mountain, not carved but grown. 10,000 future steps. Leo stood at the path's beginning. No throne, only purpose. The dream that chose to wake. Kaler's voice shone above the peak. Go. When they climb, you rise with them. Leo walked forward, carrying 10,000 souls. The mountain did not end, it opened. The summit followed wherever he walked. The end.